Very good evening, everyone. This is Rajendran here, and welcome everyone to webinar on OpenAlgo Meetup. So today discussion is completely about OpenAlgo indicators, which we've been working on that. So what exactly I had done with OpenAlgo indicators. So that is what we're going to discuss about it. A lot of interesting things and a lot of new capabilities and a lot of interesting contributions also. That's what we're going to talk about in this specific session. So I hope my audio and video quality is good enough. You can also unmute and you can speak back anytime. Whenever you want to have any conversation, you can always unmute and you can speak back to me. Right? So I hope the audio and video quality is good enough to kickstart. If yes, please type yes so that I'll get a context. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you for the quick intro. So, thank you for the quick confirmation. So now what I had done is like I've been working on indicators. It's not something new. A month back, I think, a month or 2 months back, I'm not very sure. I started implementing technical indicators. Maybe back then I used to cover like hardly some 70 indicators. Out of that, I had to scrap some 10 more indicators and then I had to add. Now we have like close 104 indicators. So you can find the documentation. And if you go to the documentation, from the documentation, you'll be able to figure out that under Python, now we'll be having a new section called indicators. Now, these are the list of supported indicators, close to close, like not everything is an indicator. Some of them are utility functions also, which is predominantly used for so something like value and XREM kind of functions, flip kind of functions, or crossover find kind of functions. So we have like close to close 100 plus technical indicators. But the primary idea is to scale to 500 plus indicators over a period of time. What we had tried to focus here is like we used Numba is what we used, which is inspired from Vector BT because Vector BT tend to use Numba. Vector BT also covers indicators. It says 80 plus indicator, but I'm sure that that's something wrong. Probably I had to change it to 104. Total 104 functions is what we had so far. So it includes Supertrend, Ichimoku, and Chande Kroll Stop. So you name any basic indicators, all the basic indicators are covered. RSI, MACD, Bollinger Band, Keltner Band, on-chain channel, right, ATR, all those things are covered. And of course, some of the basic volume indicators like money flow, OBV, NVI, I mean, negative volume index, positive volume index, Fisher transform, and tons and tons of oscillators has been covered. Statistical indicators like linear regression slope, correlations, beta, so all those things has been covered. It supports both NumPy also, it supports pandas also. It's up to you like which one you want to use. The core idea is to get you the C-level performance. So where you can find this complete library is if you go to the mini fast universe, from here you can go and reach the Python library, right? Now this is where you can find the source code. If you want to make use of the indicator, it's very simple. Pip install OpenAlgo, that will solve the purpose. Or if you're already installing latest version of OpenAlgo. Recently, I had to change the version of OpenAlgo 1.0.0.30. Just now I had to change for this session. So if anybody who is using 1.0.0.30, they will be able to get the latest OpenAlgo installation. So all you have to do is like just do a git pull or just upgrade your OpenAlgo to the latest version as per the upgrade documentation. You will be able to get access to 100 plus technical indicators. Now, not just that, the new capabilities are like now we can vibe code our own indicators. Simple indicators will be able to wipe code, but very soon any kind of complex technical indicators we should be able to build in Python. So probably next year, probably end of the year, we'll be scaling up to 500 plus indicators. Right now we are at 104. We'll be putting our effort to time. Whenever we find time, we'll be adding some new indicators, right? But adding the indicators is not the main goal. But the primary goal is by next year end, probably 2026, the goal is to reach 500 plus indicators, which will be covering the global coverage. We will be probably will be we'll be able to cover most of the indicators, popular indicators, TAC indicators, simple indicators, moderate indicators, complex indicators, or some indicators which are capable of doing machine learning. So those kind of stuff is also will be possible going forward. Right now, simple things can be sorted out. What we also had brought up is like in if you go to OpenAlgo, so if you go to OpenAlgo Custom GPT, let me go to OpenAlgo Custom GPT. I'll try to go to OpenAlgo Custom GPT. You can also flip to the model. Let's say I'm gonna go like thinking model. If you want to create something complex, you can consider using some sort of like GPT-5 or something like that. You can switch to thinking model, and you can ask questions. You can ask like something like, let's say I want to build an simple indicator. I want to build a simple EMA crossover indicator. I'm just giving some basics over here, but I'll also show you some complex operations as well. Indicator crossover using Reliance chart, 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame for the last 30 days. For last 30 days, this is what I want to bring, right? So when I'm going to execute this, when I'm going to give this prompt, now what it's going to do is like it's going to fetch the EMA crossover indicator. Of course, it's going to use the EMA function. So let's say if you go to the docs, the EMA function, you can find it under the indicator section. Under the Python indicators, you'll be find under the trend section. All the basic SMA you're going to find over here, SMA, EMA, WMA, all those indicators you're going to find over here. So as what I want is like EMA crossover, right? So this is how it's simple EMA. It's pretty easy. I had to write a function which is very easy to figure out, and you can use it to do whatever you want. So here what it's trying to do is like maybe sometimes it might try to write blogs, or sometimes it might try to write database. So sometimes you may have to say like I don't want to write any of those things. So this is like simple model, simple indicator. You don't need such a complex thinking model. Maybe if your requirement is very complex, you can consider using OpenAlgo 5 thinking model. But if your requirement is pretty much easier, pretty basic, you can go with the default model itself. But if you want more thinking power, more complex mathematical operations, if you want, then you should consider using something like OpenAlgo 5 thinking. Maybe if you want to use OpenAlgo 5 thinking model, maybe under a free plan, they may not allow. So free plan, we don't know what model they are using, but if it is a paid plan, maybe your reliability of the indicator could be pretty much on the higher side. So as you can see, like it's using a 9 and 21 fast and slow moving average. It's getting the data from the broker itself. So it's using OpenAlgo and it's importing the API, and it's also using TA. API for placing orders, accessing the order book, trade book, position book, and TA for accessing the technical analysis indicators. So TA dot, anything with TA dot is going to be the indicator. So TA dot, the so and so indicator, TA dot EMA, I'll be able to access the close. The closing value, we are getting it from the data frame of close. This data frame, Pandas data frame, we are getting it from the broker itself, right? So even you can download a large data, something like, let's say like I want to download like 10 years of 1 minute data or hourly data. If you want to download, there are brokers who are offering it, like brokers like Zerodha, they are offering like 10 years of IUD data. And but this is particularly in terms of cash market, whereas Fires, they are offering like 7 years, done 5 years, and Angel again like 8 years of intraday data. And many brokers are offering like any somewhere around like 2 to 5 years they are offering. It differs from broker to broker, it differs. But once you got the code right, I'm just going to copy this. I'll come back to my OpenAlgo. So here is my OpenAlgo here. I'll create under strategies. I'll go and put that and say like I'm going to create an EMA indicator. So it's just going to be an indicator only. Indicator dot IPYNB. So you can go back and validate. Step by step also can validate, or in one shot also can go and validate. So let's say I'll try to execute everything in a single shot. But however, I don't want the plotly kind of stuff. If you don't want plotly kind of stuff, you can remove it. But I prefer not to use plotly. So maybe I'll say like I I don't want to plot. So it's also trying to plot as well, right? It's trying to plot the candlestick charts. If you want, you can go and use it. Maybe in that case, you may have to install Plotly. But the time being, I'm not going to plot. I'm just going to get only the data only. So I'm going to say like, I don't want to plot. I don't want a plot. And no crossover. Just give me the data frame. Just give me the data frame. So if your goal is to first build an indicator, later on you want to convert into a strategy, any indicator you can build using OpenAlgo. Later on, I'll give you the technical details about all about what I had done, what kind of auditing I had done, what of benchmarking, what I had done. And of course, since it is a thinking model, it's going to take a lot of time. Otherwise, if you're using a simple model like 4.0, the results are going to be pretty much faster. So don't go for thinking model unless you want some sort of an effective, fast operations. I mean, unless your things are complex. So it's rewriting the code. In fact, it is trying to write like a Python code. I can also run like a Python code, but time being, I'm going to use like a pandas data frame. Let's go and check step by step. First, I'm going to import this block. That's going to import the block here, right? I'll import the block. Yeah. So we're getting a warning that says like we are using no Python. That's fine. You can ignore it. And then we're going to go for, let's say, configuration. I have to set my API key and API host key. Let's go and set that. And also I want to set all these things. API key, we can get it straightforward. We can go to OpenAlgo. So here is OpenAlgo. I'll go and copy my OpenAlgo API key. And then I'm going to get that key over here. This is where I'm going to replace with my key. And even the host value, also, this is my host value. So I'll better replace it over here. So I'm just replacing my API key and API host, which is like by default, it runs at port 5000. If you're having a custom domain, you can keep your own custom domain name over here. And then we have symbol, NSE, 5-minute. These are like standard information. Last 30 days of data I want to download. Fast EMA is like 9, slow EMA is like 21. And let's say I'll go to the code. Again, I'll go back and get the rest of the context. Then we are initializing the OpenAlgo client. And not just that, we're also setting the start date, end date, and all those stuff. This will do two things: initialize the OpenAlgo client and initialize the start and end date. Last 30 days of data is what it's trying to set. And next one is like, I think we have to go and get that down. We have to go and download the data. So there are two functions over here. One is it get the Reliance EMA in a data frame. Second one is like it's also go and get the historical data from the data frame as well. Right. So I'm going to copy this. There's a function which is going to get the Reliance data, and it's also going to frame the data frame as well. So finally, I'm going to call the function. So here is my function here. This is a function I'm going to call it. And if I should ask to print the DF, it should be printing not just the data. I'm also getting the data. I'm also getting the slow and fast EMA as well. Maybe if you want to see the last 10 or 20 values, you can use the tail dot tail of, let's say, last 20 values you want to display. And you also want to round it off to the 2 digits. So we can round it off to 2 digits. Now everything has been rounded off to 2 digits. And EMF slow and fast also. Top recent 20 values will be able to get over here. right? That way you can bring any indicators into the system. Maybe I'll show you one more demo. Maybe I'll try to get something like a Supertrend kind of indicator. I also already shared in the Discord community as well. So what I'm trying to show is like only a pretty basic example is what I'm trying to show. I'm not trying to do anything complex, but you can also go as complex as you want. So I'll go with GPT fast, something like that. Maybe the answer could be pretty much faster. Maybe for easier things, something like super trend kind of indicator. I can say like I mean replace EMA with super trend. I don't want the EMA, but instead I want a super trend. You can go and control those contexts over here. Of course, it's changing the function itself. It's adding some more new function is adding up. Maybe this function looks like it is very specific to Reliance. I don't want to keep it specific to Reliance. I want to change the function name. I'll say like keep the function name like generic. And also, so here we are passing the symbol, we are passing the exchange interval, start date, end date, period, multiplier. So I would like to keep it very generic, right? That's what I want. I don't want this name at all. So I want the name to be changed so that we can use it for any, not just only for Reliance, we can use it for any symbol practically. So here is going to get the default period and multiplier. The period is going to be, I think the period is going to be like 10 and multiplier is going to be 3. Let me go back and set the value here. Right. Instead of fast and slow, I'll just change this to period 3 and 10. I'll execute it. Initialize the OpenAlgo. And instead of this function, I'm going to replace it with the Supertrend function, right? So we have like Supertrend function that is also going to fetch the data as well. And it's going to return the data frame along with the open, high, low, close, volume, open interest. Along with that, it is also going to get me uh, the Supertrend data as well. So the function name is get Supertrend df. So how I can call that function, like pretty simple. So all I have to do is like I would just copy and paste this finally. I should end up getting the data frame, hopefully. It says like, but I'm passing values, right? We're passing symbol. I think it is not passing any symbol over here. What I'm missing here. Maybe because I'm using a fastest model. Let me try with legacy 4.0. Can you fix the issue? I'm just getting an issue like this is the issue that I'm getting over here. I think it should be able to fix the issue. Even a basic model should be more than enough. A 4.0 should be able to do. Or if it is 5, maybe consider using some thinking model or something like auto model that could be better. So what it says, the supertrend function from OpenAlgo returns a tuple, not a dictionary. Of course, it returns both supertrend also, trend direction also. So that's what it returns. It returns two things. It failed to do that, but hopefully this time it should work. Right, execute. And I'll try to get the data frame. So we are getting the supertrend values, right? And we're also getting the direction as well. The direction will be like +1 for sell signal and -1 for buy signal. Probably that's how the trading view is using. I'm also using the similar format over here, right? So it returns a tuple over here. It returns the supertrend trailing stop loss value also, and also another column it says like whether it is buying or selling. It try to explore over here. Maybe I can also go back and check, let's say something like Reliance, I want to check the daily value. I'll go and set the daily value here. On a daily chart, let's say for last 300 days, I want to fetch for 3 and 10. Let's go and do the comparison over here. Sometime back, I had done the comparison. It tend to work good. So hopefully today also it works good. Let's see. So this is Supertrend, the 3 and 10 on a daily chart. Let's go and do the comparison with trading view. Most of the values are cross-checked with the trading view. Most of the indicators. I'll go to something like Reliance. Daily chart, indicators. I'll go to Supertrend. I might have a lot of Supertrend indicators, doesn't matter. But let's go to this technical. This is like inbuilt indicators of Supertrend. Click on that. So you will be finding in recent values like 1443. You can see the recent value over here, 1443.30. 1443.30, right? And previous value 1448.40. So here one bar back, it is 1448.40, which you'll be able to see over here. When I keep my cursor over here, you can read the value 1448.40, exactly 1448.40. Even previous two more values also 1440, right? So it matches exactly to a tick. It matches, and the one more before value is like 1450.30, exactly matching, which means so wherever we are finding deviation, I keep on fine tuning the indicator. I'll ensure that at the end of the day, I'm getting the context exactly matching with the trading view values. So I used a daily chart as a reference. I have to try with couple of stocks as well, not just Reliance, and I have to try matching those values. So if daily is matching, my intention is like, my idea is like it should be matching with every other time frame, unless the data is skewed, right? So I use daily time frame as a reference, and for benchmarking, what I had to do is like maybe I'll show you a very interesting thing. This is like Claude, so maybe Claude gives me a lot of ideas. So here we can go and connect our GitHub account. So I can go and add my GitHub over here, Python library. I'm gonna add not the complete Python library. I'm gonna go inside OpenAlgo. I'm gonna add only the indicators. And I'm gonna say like, what are the optimization done in this indicators to load faster, provide point by point details, point by point summary. So we used a we relied on Opus 4.1 model, and also GPT-5 model for auditing. We also used Gemini 2.5 Pro for certain audits, and certain optimization I have to use GPT-5 model, because GPT-5 model also one of the number one model in terms of optimization. So we used a number zip compilation. So every indicator you'll be finding this at JIT no Python equal to true and cache equal to true. That means for computational kernels, so that will give you near C level performance. So for the first attempt itself, if the cache is maintained as true, sometimes first attempt you may not get, but when you're using it for the second time, you will be getting the performance. And we used O of N rolling window algorithms. That means instead of using nested loops, we used rolling sums, so that it fasten up the loading of the calculations. The calculation get parallelized or optimized, I would say. And we optimize data structure. So there are certain places. These are some of the recommendations from GPT-5 that you should use this. These are the methods that you should use, so that you will be getting a memory efficient arrays. And some of them, like we had used like centralized kernels, like common values like EMA, SMA, ATR. We used utils.py, so that we don't end up duplicating, creating the same functions, because same EMA, SMA, ATR, right? We might be using in some other indicators also as part of building other indicators. Uh, we don't end up building repeatedly with some, we don't end up duplicating it. Instead, we reuse the same centralized kernels itself. And wherever it is required, we went for an vectorized operations, so that it supports pandas pretty much easier. There are more optimizations still yet to do, but time to time I thought like we will do. Right now we are in one shape, so we'll release it and then we'll start building more as the demand is growing. We'll start keep building more stuff, right? So I thought like okay, well, let's go on roll out some basic version with 104 indicator, which is a reasonable size. I would say like that covers most of the pandas TA and most of the basic TLib libraries with the same speed. Pandas TA is pretty much slower. We know that it's because it is pandas. Whereas in case of OpenAlgo, we are still using pandas, but still at the speed of C, because internally we are using NumPy a lot, and so one of the reason why we are mostly sticking with OpenAlgo, because that reduces the complexity. You don't need to depend upon some other libraries to build things. If you want, you can still use TLib. Definitely that can give you like C-level performance. But OpenAlgo doesn't give you C-level performance, but it will match with, sometimes it will match, sometimes it will be exceeding the C-level performance also, which you can test yourself. So I want to test it myself. So we also enabled something like smart caching. We used parallel ready design. So memory access patterns we have to add up over here, right? So a lot of things, a lot of optimization works. It went to that. Probably I had to do like completely 2 days. I was sitting only on top of optimization and fine tuning the indicators. And another important thing that I would like to convey here is, yeah, the audit. So how about a large data audit? So I have to perform a large data audit. I also shared in our community as well. If you go to GitHub, OpenAlgo Python library, you'll be finding this audit folder. So inside audit folder, you can find tons of audit suggestions, improvements, all those stuff. But one among them is like, I think here it is, large data speed audit summary. So it gives you like complete details about which indicator took how much time, right? So generally number, how it works is like first time when you're running, it will be very slower, but second time it get cached, it will be faster, it will be a C level performance. Sometimes it will be exceeding the TL for performance also. So that's what we first execution we call as a cold start performance. And I also have to do a warm performance as well. Maybe once I had done with the number compilation, what it does is like it converts into a bytecode, and second time it will be running not from the compilation. Second time if you're going to run, it will be running from the compiled code. So that time it's going to be production ready and it will be faster. So that way you can use it for speed up, right? So once you execute that one function, any function that you're going to execute for the first time, then multiple times you're going to reuse it. It is going to be faster. So naturally you can use it for production, right? It's not like every single, let's say Reliance, I'm going to use only once for daily chart, but later on I'm going to use it the same indicator for maybe let's say I'm going to use it for back testing. I'm going to use it for live trading. Next time onwards, it is not going to compile. It's going to get it from the compiled code itself. So the execution will be achieving better than TALib, or sometimes very close to TALib performance. So you can see like warm versus cold, the average performance like 9.1 time faster. First time it was slightly slower, but still it is within like milliseconds. But second time onwards, it's gonna look at the range over here. The range is like 0.44 milliseconds to 4 seconds. That still some indicators requires optimization. Some 3 to 4 indicators are there. But this 4 seconds, you might thinking like maybe there is like some 1,000 data points. Of course not. So it took like some, I have to take some big data numbers. I had taken an HDFC bank.csv, which contains like 9 lakh 24 records, uh, almost I would say like 10, I mean, a million records is what, close to close, almost 1 million records. It is certain indicators are still taking time. We are yet to optimize it. So some indicators like RSA is taking like 6.74 in the first attempt. This is like cold performance. Maybe if you see the warm performance, it will be like in 21 milliseconds. The 6.74 seconds, it will be got to something like, maybe I'll show you like, this is like warm performance. Do we have an RSI? Yeah, RSI. Look at that. This is a cold performance. First time when I'm trying to execute on a 1 million records, it's like 6.7 seconds. It is taking to calculate. This is for compiling. But second time when I want to execute Not necessarily the same data, it could be some other data also. It will be getting down to like 21 milliseconds, right? So even this first time execution also, I'm trying to bring it down. I need probably maybe another week's time. We might be fixing all those slow issues. So right now, the list of indicators which are pretty slow are like probably I would say like some 4 to 5 indicators are pretty slow. So these are the indicators right now which are like taking like 2 seconds. CRSI is like 1.8 seconds. VI like 1.4 seconds, which earlier it used to take a lot of seconds. And right now the biggest one is like Arun indicator, ADX indicator. So these are things which require certain optimization technique. It also recommends certain optimization technique as well. Once I had done that, even here also we'll be able to get down to like millisecond level, right? So RSI, you can see like the speed up is like 325 times faster in the warm performance. And yeah, so you can see like probably a sub millisecond performance also we will be able to achieve for like utility functions. Now, another interesting thing that I would like to share is like this is from one of our community member, right? So Discord today he had integrated OpenAlgo with BT Backtrader. You can also see his conversation in the developer section. So P2C2E, I had an opportunity to meet him as well. So he held a very high global positions. Like he's a global VP of Publicis Sapient, right? So I have an opportunity to meet him some 2 weeks, I think 2 or 3 weeks back. So he himself a trader. He is trading in his Zerodha account. So he had done a lot of contribution towards Zerodha, and now he had what he what he had done is like he brought Backtrader. Backtrader is one of the Backtrader has a very huge community where you can integrate with Trader. You can use the Backtrader not only for backtesting but with a simple switch, right? So he said like with a simple switch you can also change it to uh, live trading as well, right? So same strategy, you can use it for backtesting also, you can use it for live trading also. So that is what he had explained. I think still a lot of explanations has been there. Probably time to time we'll also go back and explore. Um, but Backtrader as a community is dead. That's what he is saying. GitHub Backtrader. Earlier it has a very big community. Maybe they stop contributing or something. Yeah, last 2 years back, last 2 years afterwards, I think that's a recent commit is from 2 years back. But I think probably it's a very mature platform. Maybe it's slightly a slow platform, but what they haven't done is like they support only up to like 3.7. They may or may not work after 3.7. So I'm not very sure about that. I myself, do I use Backtrader? If you ask me, absolutely no. I use Vector BT a lot because Vector BT is a lot more faster. Backtrader is slightly slower, but it has a lot of extended capabilities. So here also, yes, now you can connect your strategies as well. You can backtest. Maybe if you are using a high-end Python version, you have to go and check it out, or you may have to fall back to 3.7 or something. You can connect OpenAlgo data for backtesting purpose as well, and with a flip of a switch, you can automate your strategies as well. So you also had shared some lot of sample examples as well. Like this is what you can see over here, right? So some testing. This is how to test, or maybe how to connect with the broker's data, and how to change it to live mode. So that also it covers over here. He covers completely end to end everything. He had covered everything. Yeah, I have to go and test it out. But yes, once I had tested, I'll be adding it up. So that will be giving you a capability to backtest as well as to trade live. If in case if you're going to use a back trader, let me also check if I can do the same thing with Vector BT also. So that with Vector BT, I don't think Vector BT supports live broker execution, but I know Backtrader does that. Maybe if it is Vector BT, I have to go back and check if they support any such kind of capabilities. So any questions anybody is having? But this is a great addition. This is a great contribution to the community of traders who want to test or who already make use of Backtrader, right? So he himself used Backtrader a lot. Yeah. So anonymous attendee is saying, I requested 6 months back for creating target trailing feature, not stop loss trailing. See, all those things are coming up. Probably all I need to do is like I need to find some time right now. Whenever some time is whenever we are finding time, we are just working on top of OpenAlgo. But when trying to build this target trailing stop loss, it's not like I'm not building. I had done a lot of iteration and I had to scrap it out. Had some small success, small learnings, and we'll take all those learnings, and yes, we will be building very soon. So right now the WebSocket is going on, and anytime we might be one fine day you might be seeing that without, I mean, with all of a sudden you might be seeing that feature could be there in no time, right? So yeah, so we'll be moving towards that stop loss, trailing stop loss, targets. That's one of the major traders requirement. We will be doing it, right? So, but we are also get stuck with other day-to-day work as well, day-to-day work and trading stuff. So yes, maybe in upcoming days, we'll ensure that we'll try to close it on priority. It's not your request. There are many people are having similar requests. They are yelling at us for not doing it. So I thought of I'll complete the WebSocket once, and then I'll try to cover at least some 70-80% of the brokers with WebSockets, and then we'll start implementing it so that that'll be pretty much easier. Otherwise, we have to face unwanted complaints and queries. We have to keep on repeatedly telling the people that this is not ready for that broker, that is not ready for this broker. Maybe you have to use only this broker right now. That may not be looking good, right? And Raine is asking, can we have a small portable quick trading GUI to fire quick order with trailing stop loss in small window, automatically fetching ticker symbols from trading view automatically? Now, I'm not going to do anything with automatically fetching ticker symbols from TradingView automatically, but yes, we can get the live data from the broker itself. Probably we already have a plan to implement. We have our own scalping tool, right? So the fast scalper, you can use it to automate your trades. There, we might be integrating the stop loss target trailing stop loss feature. Yeah, Hemang is having a question. Yes, Hemang, please go and ask a question.
Rajendra sir, a couple of things.
Yeah.
First, regarding this strategy, right now, is it confined to only one symbol, sir, or can we have multiple symbols like you said, na Reliance and EMA crossover, so it will execute. So can I have 10 symbol, 20 symbol, and whichever symbol meets the condition, it will get order gets triggered, sir?
You can do that, see, but I would say like if you're gonna go at that level, you have to build a screener, right? You're talking about something like a screener, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, almost I
That
wanted to
is
ask.
possible, but you also have to understand that brokers also having a certain constraint that uh, if you're going to do with the broker's data, right? So
Sir,
some
sir,
brokers
sir,
actually,
that was my next sentence. That I think 50 requests per second or something. So even if I have a universe of 2,000 symbols or something in a minute, I can actually complete. Not real time, but at least in a minute, like a batch, we can process in.
yeah,
I
you
think
can put in a batch or a queue, you can put it and then you can process it. That is totally possible.
right now, sir, we have to create
But
a
what I would
strategy.
say, like, if you're going to look for 2000 symbols, then I would recommend you to collect the WebSocket data. You prepare your own data sets. Or, yeah, so that could solve the problem. You have to work on the WebSocket data feed, collect the data, aggregate the data, build your own candles. And
Sir, but ultimately that execution right now strategy is not permitting dynamic symbol, no, sir. That is problem.
what do you mean by strategy is not permitting dynamic symbols?
Dynamic symbol, sir, I define the strategy based on indicators or anything, but that symbol which I am running somewhere outside, like you said, I run my personal screener where whatever symbol is meeting, then I try to push that symbol into the strategy so that it should trigger the trade, something like that.
That is totally possible. That is totally possible. You see, you can build a screener out of it, and you can, whenever a condition is executing, I mean, whenever condition is getting true, you can fire an order to that particular symbol. That is totally possible.
So that is through strategy.
Mm.
And sir, second thing, just a humble request, sir. Please look into this WebSocket thing, sir, for Wisdom Capital, sir. I have tested their native SDK, and it is performing well on the, I mean, same environment, whether it's a dedicated server or VPS. But when I
I don't
try
know.
to,
Last time when I checked with Wisdom Capital, like our team had tested it out, like it tend to work fine. That's what the feedback I got from my team.
sir, if you want, I will share some sort of small video as well,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
on
Please,
same
please
machine
share me, and then
yes, sir.
let me look into that.
Because on same native
Maybe
environment,
maybe some settings problem or something like that. Maybe some .env configuration issue. Just let me know like
Hmm.
what issue that you're getting. I
Yes, sir.
Because we tested in the UI also. Now we have a UI also. We have a WebSocket streaming. We also have like client side WebSocket client also. You can access it from Python code also directly. You can able to stream the data. So
Hmm.
both the ways we tested it out, it tends to be working good because it is done. It's a common thing. It's the APIs are pretty common for all the Symphony FinTech brokers. Wisdom Capital uses Symphony FinTech XTS API, right? So
Yes, sir.
working for XTS broker, it should be working for all the XTS broker. In fact, we exclusively tested for Wisdom Capital also. After you raise,
Sir, actually, what one more thing I in particular, I am not very pro like you, but that binary data API, and somewhere I just figured out that instead of binary data API, you are still using that normal market data API, whereas that socket is only exclusively now running on binary data API or something that they have implemented from March 2025, sir.
just share me the API details. I'll look into that.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir.
Because some brokers are using two different APIs. Some are using binary, some are using the market data one. So that's you just give me the documentation. I'll look into that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So any other questions? All right. So otherwise, more or less, we can call it a day. So go back and try it out. Let me know if in case if you're facing any difficulties with building indicators, and not just only indicators, we can also build strategies on top of indicators also using the custom GPTs. If in case you want to see any indicators inside OpenAlgo Python library, you can also mention in the developer section. You can go back and comment, or you can also post it in the Python section also. Either way, I'll try to consider in the next deployment, right? So I say thank you for coming by and attending the session, and thank you once again for spending your wonderful and precious time with us. Thank you. Bye bye.